There's a lot of movies coming out in 2019 that I'm excited for, but also a few I have some reservations on. I thought I'd combine my feelings of anticipation and apprehension into one list. These are my top 5 most and least anticipated movies of 2019. 5th most anticipated, Star Wars Episode 9. The sequel trilogy comes to a close with a finale that's sure to be absolutely epic. With the Resistance reduced to a handful of people and Luke gone, Rey has to bring the Jedi back to defeat Kylo Ren, who's also in a power struggle with Hux over control of the First Order. I expect to see Luke return as a Force ghost, and this will also be Carrie Fisher's last performance as Princess/General Leia Organa. The close to this trilogy is sure to be the biggest movie event of the latter half of 2019. 5th least anticipated, Star Wars Episode 9. For how much flack Disney gets for making manufactured, focus group tested, soulless cinematic junk food, it's a shame that the one time they put their faith in a creative auteur, it backfired so horribly. And with the biggest non-superhero property in film history, no less. What's worse, now we get the manufactured, focus group tested, soulless cinematic junk food sequel to a misguided auteur passion project. It's gonna be like Justice League following Batman v Superman all over again. Can't wait for more of Rey easily solving all of her problems, while Finn and Poe are sidelined in boring subplots and Kylo Ren continues to wage his eternal war against character development. 4th most anticipated, Toy Story 4. The Toy Story trilogy defined my generation's childhood right up until the point where we all became adults and had to say goodbye to that phase of our life with the incredible Toy Story 3. I can't wait to see what Pixar has to show my generation now that we're having kids of our own. I also can't wait to see how new characters Jordan Peele, Keegan-Michael Key, and that goofy homemade spork toy are introduced because they all look hilarious. 4th least anticipated, Toy Story 4. Nothing like a 4th installment 9 years after the conclusion to a great trilogy to sour our cherished childhood memories, huh? Pixar has gone creatively bankrupt, and the only thing they brought in to give the illusion of creative life is a lol-so-random spork to sell incredibly cheap toys of, and Key and Peele doing a sketch comedy routine from 2012 that both of their careers have moved on from. But early congratulations to Pixar on the Best Animated Picture Oscar it's going to win, simply because the Academy doesn't actually watch the animated movies. 3rd most anticipated, Pokémon Detective Pikachu. I've been waiting literally my entire life for a live-action adaptation of Pokémon, and I was blown away by how good they all look in the trailer, especially after seeing how badly the Sonic movie failed at the same task. My generation can relate so well to a young man with thwarted childhood dreams of becoming a Pokemon trainer, and letting Deadpool guide us through the fully realized world of Pokemon to solve a mystery is more than I ever dreamed of as a child. 3rd least anticipated, Pokemon Detective Pikachu. When I think of my childhood journeys through the Pokemon League, I think of a depressed cop trying to find his absentee father, don't you? And this is only going to be the 2nd worst movie to feature a cop solving a mystery with a terrifying CG monster, thanks Sonic. I can't wait to see every detail of Mr. Mime's terrifying face on the big screen. What is the next trailer just gonna show us Jinx's lips? Tell you what, Hollywood, you can keep Ryan Reynolds phoning it in over Nightmare Fuel. I'll wait for a Pokemon movie based on the actual core games. 2nd most anticipated, Godzilla, King of the Monsters. The greatest movie monster of all time returns to face off against his greatest nemesis, King Ghidorah, with help from Mothra and Rodan. Finally realized with the budget and production value they've always deserved. On the human side, we'll get a lot of answers to the mysteries of the Monsterverse as we follow secret organization Monarch all over the world. And Eleven from Stranger Things seems like the main human character. How cool is that? 2nd least anticipated, Godzilla, King of the Monsters. This is an audition tape so Hollywood can see if they'll be able to use Millie Bobby Brown until she turns 40 or if they'll have to drop her off at Netflix HQ for the rest of her career. Oh, and maybe it'll end in a monster fight realized through not costume artistry and miniature cities, but CGI obscured by a rainy night so bad you can't tell what's going on. This movie is going to be like sitting through a 2-part episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., only S.H.I.E.L.D. is made up of spies and Monarch is made up of the Hicks from Finding Bigfoot after personality removal surgery. Number 1 most anticipated, Avengers Endgame. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is an accomplishment unlike anything in movie history, and Endgame is the conclusion of 10 years and 22 movies of build-up. The last Avengers movie left us on a massive cliffhanger, and the trailer for the new film brilliantly doesn't give away how the remaining heroes are going to save the day this time. I'll be honest guys, if Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, or Hulk die, I might just cry. And you have to appreciate that the biggest moments in a trailer for the biggest movie of all time were the appearances of Ant-Man and Hawkeye. See, that's why starting without the X-Men was a blessing in disguise. It forced them to get us emotionally invested in these B-list characters and turn them into A-listers. And now the ones who are left have to step up and save the day from the supervillain who won, Thanos. This might be my most anticipated movie of any year. First, least anticipated, Avengers Endgame. With a subtitle that could be slapped onto the end of literally any action movie ever, the never-ending Marvel Cinematic Universe finally comes to an end. Or at least it would, if we didn't already know Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Black Panther, and Guardians of the Galaxy were all getting sequels after this. Yes, in the grand Marvel tradition, everyone who died will be brought back. At least we can sit back and admire the CGI spectacle from underpaid VFX artists who, despite the movie having a budget half the size of the X-Men shaped hole in this franchise, have to pump out 3 of these cinematic cheeseburgers a year, resulting in the CGI getting worse and worse until Iron Man looks like his head is copied and pasted onto his suit. Who else wants to see a decade of storylines wrapped up by a brand new character, Captain Marvel, huh? So there you have it, 5 movies I'm looking forward to, and 5 I'm worried about. Thanks for listening.